Hey Reefers, Lee back with another video from Reefer Explained, and today we're talking about protein skimmers in general, and what kind of protein skimmer you want and what you want to get for your system. So currently this is my Redsea E260 tank with the Redsea sump. That's an add-on addition, and it's quite a shallow sump. The height of this is, I believe, to be around 22 centimeters in water depth volume, and this protein skimmer runs in a depth of 15, I believe, to around 21 centimeters. I think that's right. I'd have to double check on that. So we are now running the Deltec a 600i, and it's a DC controllable protein skimmer. So DC as in it's very quiet pump. It's got a controller here, which is a Deltec controller. So minus is your pump speed, so you can see I've got it on 2 bars, and it's normally running between 2 and 3 bars on here. I've actually turned it down to 2 because I want it to be super quiet, and I don't need it run up to 10. I don't know who would run it there. I believe this works best between 3 and 4. That's what I've heard from other reefers. And I chose this skimmer for a few reasons. One, it works in this volume of water, which is, as I said, very important that you check the running height of the protein skimmer and how much water you've got, unless you've got extendable baffles, which I don't have. So that's one reason why I chose this skimmer for this size aquarium. It's up to, I believe, 600 liters, as it's 600i, 2 to 600 liters. It's Deltec, which has been around for a very long time, and it's a German company. The design of it is really nice. Let me just show you a few other factors involved. So inside the lid, as you can see, as normal, most protein skimmers, it's protein format. It's kind of a dry skim that I've got it on. It's foaming very nicely, and it broke in, I think, within around 3 or 4 days. Now, there's a couple of tips with protein skimmers that I've only just really learned over the years. When you're cleaning these protein skimmers out, try not to be too tough with cleaning them, so with a brush or anything like that. So for instance, when you're cleaning inside the cup, that's fine, you can give it a good clean out and then you're good to go. Lid back on and Bob's your uncle. Now if you're taking that entire part out, and you clean on the outside and you clean on the inside, not the actual collection cup, you could in effect reset the skimmer back to where you had to break it back in. That's what I found recently, that I had cleaned it and it took nearly about a week for it to start to skim again. And I thought originally maybe it was nutrients in the water I didn't have enough of, because it was bubbling a lot, but the bubbles was not climbing in the cup. So that could have been one reason, but I believe that if you clean your jet washing inside, you're cleaning it out too thorough, it doesn't perform that well. It should have a layer of the aquarium gunk for it to work really well, as long as it's not filthy dirty. And make sure that you're cleaning the inside of the pump, the impeller that spins inside here, and make sure the ports and the air intake is nice and clean. Now this skimmer is probably one of the best I've ever had. I've had a few Bubble Magnus Curve 7, I had a 5 before then, and they're great skimmers and great for the price because you get a lot of bang for your buck. However, I chose a Bubble Magnus Curve 7 for this system, and for a while it did kind of work. It was a very dry skim. In fact, it was in the wrong depth of water, which caused a lot of noise, a vibration noise through the system, sorry about that, and also it wasn't running in the right depth. It should have been 9 to 12 inches, and I think it would have been around about here that it should have been, and that's why I was having such issues. So I sold that skimmer on and bought this one, and I never looked back. I think this is one of the best skimmers out there, and it's so easily put together, and it's got a great couple of features I'm going to show you now. So a couple of things is here is your air intake, and just at the rear of there is the port. I'll show you in a sec. What can happen is this is your water level. It should be between here, and if the water in the sump was to rise, or you were to turn off your return pump, sorry, and the water would to gush from the top of the aquarium down, it would fill up in this chamber, obviously, and this would then overfill. Now as this catches this part here, it will stop the pump basically, in a way, from overfilling your protein skimmer cup, and that is a great addition to this system, because it means then all this foam and poo, fish waste will not come frolicking over into my reef tank, which I really love. Now you'll see this little mechanism on the side here. It's a D&D Skimmer Guardian that I had on my old skimmer. I've just thrown it on here for precaution. Really, this is for maintenance, so when the cup gets full, it automatically turns off the protein skimmer, yeah, it's plugged into a socket where the skimmer plugs in directly on top of that as well. So I love this product, and I rate it really well. Let's just show you the rear of the skimmer without disturbing too much. So here is two chambers. The water level one you can see now, and the rear of the skimmer, you've got the air intake that runs to the front of the skimmer. And this other tube is where the water level, where the induction of the air can be changed by turning this left or right to perform less bubbles. And I think that Deltec did a really good job with this design. The other thing that I really like, and it's less maintenance personally, is that they don't have a circular disc on top that you usually have, where the bubbles would hit a flat surface and then go through the holes. It's I can't remember what it was called. It's like a template or something, a bubble template. That's what it's called, I think. And now it's just a tube that fires straight up, and it captures all these bubbles, micro bubbles, and then it just goes straight up into the neck. And that's where you want it to be, where the bubbles at the top are breaking, and then performing this great amount of protein skim, and that's perfect for me. So guys, if you want to get a protein skimmer and you want something super quiet, don't forget I've got a lot of pumps going on at the moment, so you can hear noise, and I'm just going to be quiet for a second, close the doors, and show you how quiet this is. You can barely hear that, guys, and that's no joke. My old skimmer would, as I said, maybe it was my fault because it was in the wrong depth, but it was vibrating through the bottom here and sending straight through to the floor. So there is a few things that I would have done differently. This sump has a layer of foam, which is already built onto the actual glass sump itself, which is great. That does help a lot of vibration damps. I tried vibration mats for the old skimmer and it just did nothing. You could put another piece of foam under this. However, I've used duck pond liner to prevent any spills from going under. Guys, hopefully you've liked this video today. Price wise on the 600i, 2 to 600 litres, it's I think it was around 364 pounds. There is a 400i which is rated under obviously the 600. I think it's around 400 litres obviously, I could have got that one. That would have done a great job for this system. However, they were out of stock and I just didn't want to wait anymore without being skimming from my system. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and like. Deltec really did a really good job with Skimmer, and if you want something quiet, you'll never look back. Just make sure you get the DC, not the AC one. The AC, I did test it out, it was a little bit noisy, and I would suggest that the DC is, if you want something super quiet, then that's where I'd go with it. Thanks guys for watching, much appreciated.